Hey guys, welcome back. It's really good to see you guys moving because believe it or not, we can see you. Alright, we're going to get straight into it today, but first, Tyler's going to do a little demonstration for you because there's a couple of different options that you guys will find throughout flow. So we're going to be moving from a lizard lunge, right? Some of you guys may have done this in class with us, but if you haven't, take note. We're going to be taking our back leg towards our chest with active hip compression, and then we're aiming to send it through and forward. So if your right foot is forward, your right hand will lift off of the earth, your left leg is going to go through. If you can't make that movement, do not worry. It's got a lot to do with your proportions of your body, but there is an option for you. So rather than threading the leg through, what you're going to do is lift your knee in towards your chest and round over through your spine. This means you're still getting that hip compression. There's still core involved in this as well. It's just as good as the other variation. Listen to your body. All right, so let that settle. Find yourself a comfortable seat, either kneeling, cross-legged, whatever works best. On a breath out, relax your shoulders down towards your hips. On a breath in, start Ujjayi. That constriction through your throat, humidifying the breath and keeping the parasympathetic nervous system activated the whole way through our class. Starting to focus on pushing the belly button to the spine as you breathe out. Feel that expansion as you breathe in. Take just one more round of breath in this stillness. On your next exhale, allow your right ear to drop to your right shoulder. And then clasp your hands behind you, near your lower back. And start to bring your hands over to your right hip, tuck it into the side body. It's almost like you're trying to draw your hands forward in space and then down a little. You should start to feel this sensation grow through the left side of the neck. This is a really fantastic little stretch. Something that's perfect when you're sitting down on a computer for long periods of time. Take just one more breath on this side. Crown of head draws up as you inhale. Swap over sides. As you exhale, left ear finds left shoulder, tucking your hands into the left side body. Now that sensation starts to build through the right side of your neck. And this beautiful opportunity to feel what the body has to offer you. Take just one more round of breath here, slow and steady. And then once you feel as if you're ready, crown of head to sky, lower your hands. Take just 3 big circles through the neck. Just rinsing away any sensation that came up. Just finding that real gentle movement. Good. Draw length up your spine. Reach your hands up as you breathe in. Twist to the right as you breathe out. Left hand in front, right hand behind. Take a breath in, hands rise to the sky, center. A breath out, twist to the left. 2 more times like that. As you breathe in, draw length through the upper body. As you breathe out, find a twist that suits you. A breath in, length. A breath out, twist. Just one more like this. One more round. Making sure that this twist is gentle. Treat the body with care. We've only just begun movement. Last side. One more big breath in. Hands to the earth. Come to a tabletop position. We're going to take big circles with the body. So start to distribute weight forward and back, moving through the hips, through the torso, and feeling the weight move in the hands. Make sure your fingers are spread really wide. Grip into the mat. That's super important to protect the wrists. I know we say it a lot, but it really is important. Focus on that foundation. Just one more round of breath in this intuitive movement. Do not worry about what you look like. Just feel into it. And then slowly let's find a downward facing dog. Potentially our first one of the day, so make sure there is a bend in your knees. We're aiming for this V-like shape, so a bend in the knees, and then energetically start to draw your belly closer to your thighs. You'll notice that there's no rounding in Tyler's lumbar spine. That's what we're aiming for. So a bend of the knees, energetic pull of the sitting bones up towards the sky, and a push away through the hands. Let's take one more big breath in here. A really long breath out. Rise up onto your toes, breathe in. Bend your knees, look forward, breathe out. Step or float to your hands. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. Fold over as you breathe out. You can pedal through your legs, one straight and then the other. Just notice, is there a difference in sensation from your downward facing dog to your forward fold? Essentially in both, we're looking for sensation in the hamstrings, but is that a different sensation? Can you pinpoint that? Take one more big breath in, feel your belly expand on your thighs. And as you fold forward, use the space your belly offers. Hands rise up to the sky. Urdhva Hastasana, sip the breath deep into the belly so you don't get dizzy. And forward fold as you exhale, take your time. Halfway lift, crown of head forward in space. Plant the hands, step back, high plank. You can shift forward onto your knees always. Really fantastic option. But I'm going to encourage you guys, stay. Just because we're not here in person does not mean we're not going to encourage you to find this strength that's available within the practice. Guys, hold yourself accountable. You don't have others in this room with you, or maybe you do, but we're still here. Encouraging that long hold in a high plank. Let's take one more big breath in, really nice. As you exhale, shift forward in space, lower all the way down. Take baby cobra as you breathe in, peel up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, hands lift. Use the whole breath out for the chin to touch the floor. Two more like that. Whole breath in to find length, open chest. A whole breath out to lower. Use that breath out, slow. One more, breathe in. Lift up. Use this eccentric movement to build strength as you lower down. Push to your all fours, keep your belly engaged. A downward facing dog as you exhale. Let's flow through our sun salutation 8. I'm going to encourage you guys to float forward. Just make sure you land softly and not like a heavy elephant. Rise up onto your toes, breathe in. Bend your knees as you exhale. Maybe you float forward, control it with the belly. Halfway lift, breath in. Forward fold as you exhale. Hands rise up. Use the whole breath in. Fold over into the space as you breathe out. Crown of head reaches forward, breathe in. Hands to the earth, step, float back, low plank. Upward facing dog, this time squeeze your shoulder blades together more. And then a downward facing dog as you breathe out, catch the breath. And just notice how you're feeling, whether you've lost that rhythm already. We're going to move through our sun salutation A one more time. Rise up, breathe in. Bend the knees, gaze forward, breathe out. Step, jump, float. Land, halfway lift, inhale. Fold over, slowly exhale. Hands rise up. They'll touch at the top of your breath in. And fold over, sitting bones to the sky as you breathe out. Take that halfway lift. Plant the hands on purpose. Step, jump back, low plank. Upward facing dog, legs should be off the floor. Downward facing dog as you exhale and land. We're going to be moving straight into our flow from here, but remember those two different options. You can try both if that suits. Right leg up to the sky, use a whole breath in, keep your hips square. Take your knee all the way to your right armpit. Step to the outer edge of your right hand, land in your lizard lunge. High on the ball of your back foot. And from the heel through to the collarbones, there's this really long and straight line. Left butt cheek, that's squeezing on. And just ensure that you're keeping your chest proud and forward. This is where these two options come into play. Let's work through this first one slow especially. Take a big breath in, keep your chest broad. As you breathe out, bring your knee towards your chest, lift your hips up, and then see if you can thread that left leg through. Keep it lifted, sitting bones off the earth. This is going to require core strength to keep that leg lifted. You're going to feel the hip flexor, the thigh. Let's take one more breath out. Slow and steady, start to tuck that back in. Step back slowly, lizard lunge. Now, if you guys need, you can always bring a block or a pillow or something under this left hand to lift you a little higher to thread that leg through. Once again, just see what works best for your body. Let's take one more big breath in here. Drop your back knee to the earth, hands to heart center as you breathe out. Really nice. Drop the hips down and forward, hands reach to the sky as you breathe in. Half Hanuman, shift your hips back in space, reach forward, breathe out. One more time like that, breathe in, baby back bend, belly on. Good, breathe out, half Hanuman, feel those right hamstrings. Lizard lunge as you breathe in, replant the hands, lift up on that back leg. Really nice, land here, catch the breath. One more inhale. Skandasana as you breathe out. You can move as low as you want to through that transition. But Skandasana is still incredible all of the way up here. Find your depth and listen to that. Feel no pressure to look a certain way. Let's take just one more breath out. Keep your spine long. Crescent lunge as you breathe in. Hands rise up, that bend in the back knee. Today we are opening the lower half a lot. Bend in the back knee so we can get into that psoas. Take the belly button in, reach the hands high. Take one more big breath. Water wheel as you exhale. Left hand forward, right hand back. This twist is coming from the core, from the thoracic spine. Make sure you can still breathe. Really, really important. Take your last breath out. Revolved reverse as you breathe in. Keep windmilling around and land warrior two as you breathe out. Stay low on the legs. I know you can feel it. You're okay. You guys, keep that breath fluid. Take that last breath out. Reverse your warrior, a big breath in, stay low. Hands to the earth, step back. Either hover the right leg for more and lower or on your knees for less. Upward facing dog as you breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Left side, let it lift. Take the knee to your armpit as you breathe out. Step to the outer edge of your left hand, lizard lunge. Set up here. We want to ensure that we're not dumping the upper body onto our left thigh, that we're still lifting up and out of this posture. Right glute squeezing, crown of head energetically drawing forward in space. Take a big breath in. Knee towards your chest. Either keep the hips high or thread it through. Keep it lifted, sitting bones off the earth. Keep pushing the floor away with your right hand. Keep that leg lifted. Observe where the sensation is for you. Allow it to draw you into the body. Take that last breath out. Slow and steady, begin to step back and land in your lizard lunge. Breathe in, really nice. When you step back into this posture, make sure that's just as controlled. Let's take one more big breath in. Expand the belly. Skandasana in no rush. Drop the back knee, hands to heart center. I'm jumping the gun this time. Lower your hips down and forward as you breathe in. Reach your hands up. Half Hanuman, reach the hands forward, take the hips back. One more time to floss through that movement. Breathe in, belly on, right hip flexor. Take the hips down and back, reach forward, left hamstring. Replant the hands now, lizard lunge, even we make mistakes. Now, Skandasana. When we move through, especially this first bit, like I said, guys, allow these sensations to draw you in. Become really mindful. Avoid nothing. Take your last breath out in this posture. Move slowly and set up crescent lunge. It's all about opening the body, finding this much needed space. And see how that willpower is going. Is your mind playing tricks on you saying, I can't? Or is your body proving that you can? Last big breath in. Water wheel as you breathe out. Reach that right hand forward this time. Your arms reaching away from one another. There should be this energetic tug either side. Stay deep and grounded through your legs. Last breath out. Revolved reverse as you breathe in. Keep windmilling around. Front toe mound grounded. Virabhadrasana 2. Breathe out. Stay deep in the legs. I know you can feel it. Tyler is right there with you. Keep the legs low. Breathe out. Reverse your warrior. Take a big breath in. Hands to the earth, chaturanga, left leg lifted for more, lower on your knees for less. Upward facing dog, open the anterior side. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. One breath, one movement. Make sure it's as slow as you can go. Use the whole breath in to lift the right leg up. And the whole breath out for your knee to find your armpit. Step with grace, lizard lunge, breathe in. Thread that left leg through or keep it high as you breathe out. Step back slowly, lizard lunge, inhale. Back knee to the earth, hands to heart center as you breathe out. Drop the hips down and forward, open the front side, breathe in. Half Hanuman, reach forward, breathe out. One more time. Open up, expand as you breathe in. Close over, sitting bones back, hands forward, breathe out. Reground the hands, open the chest, lizard lunge. Skandasana, slow transition. Crescent lunge. Arrive as you inhale. Water wheel, reach the left hand forward. Keep the arms moving, revolved reverse, big toe mound grounded. Warrior 2, exhale. Stay deep in the legs, reverse your warrior, breathe in. hands to the earth. Lower down, elbows hug in. Take an upward facing dog to expand. A downward facing dog to land. Left leg, let it lift, ride the breath in. Stay buoyant as you draw the knee to your armpit. Step, lizard lunge, open the chest. As you exhale, tuck the knee to the chest or thread it through, keep it lifted. Step back as you breathe in, slow and land. Back knee to the earth, hands to heart center, breathe out. Hips down and forward, hands rise, inhale. Left hamstrings as you breathe out. One more time, open up, feel the hip flexor in the belly. Close over, reach forward, exhale. Replant the hands, open the chest, lizard lunge. Use your whole breath out, Skandasana. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge, rise up, inhale. Water wheel, right hand forward, left back. Revolved reverse, feet heavy, keep windmilling. Whole breath out, Virabhadrasana 2. Regular reverse, enjoy it as you inhale. Hands to the earth, hover that left leg if you want a little more. Upward facing dog, keep pushing the floor away, stay lifted. Downward facing dog, use a whole breath out. Right leg, let it rise, breathe in. Knee to your armpit, move really slow now. Step and open the chest, a breath in. Bring that knee as close to the chest or thread it through, keep it high. Send it back, control the body, lizard lunge. Back knee to the earth, hands to heart, set up and breathe out. Hips forward, hands high, belly on, inhale. Half Hanuman, sitting bones back, hands forward. Again, floss through this movement really slow and observe how the sensation evolves in the lower half. Reground the hands, lizard lunge, breathe in. Skandasana, your variation. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge, rise. Water wheel, reach the hands apart. Revolve reverse, find this fluidity in the upper body and then land strong in your warrior 2. That regular reverse, the fluidity stays. Hands to the earth, yogi's choice. Maybe you move straight back to downward facing dog, or maybe you know your body is capable. Other side, left leg, let it rise, use the whole breath. Round the spine as you take the knee to your armpit. Step to that outer edge, pull the chest forward in space. Use a breath out, that space in the belly to thread through or lift up. Step back slow, lizard lunge. Back knee to the earth, hands to heart. Drop the hips, lift the hands and the gaze, inhale. Sitting bones back, hands forward, collarbones forward, breathe out. One more time. Enjoy this fluid movement, this space that continues to build. Reset up in that lizard lunge shape. Use the space in the hips to move slow, Skandasana. Arrive, crescent lunge. Twist, water wheel, right hand reaches forward. Revolve, reverse this fluidity. Keep windmilling, Virabhadrasana. Reverse, inhale. You guys know where to go. Take your time here. Downward facing dog is where we land. If you want to come to a child's pose, you are so welcome to do so. But if you can stay in your downward facing dog, I encourage you to stay. Don't switch off in this pause. Use it to regain control over the breath and to notice how the body is feeling. Does your child's pose feel a little more comfy, a little more open? Or maybe in your downward facing dog, your heels are closer to the earth. We never ever use these moments in class just to switch off. We use it to reconnect. Take 2 more breaths where you are. Super slow and steady. Bring your knees down to the earth, land in a hero's pose, and look forward towards us. Doing a little bit of twisting, a whole lot of core. We've actually been doing a lot in the body today. So we're really gonna focus on Vinyasa, but the revolved version. And the greatest thing about this is we enter this shape through side crow. So if you're still working on that shape, stay with that. Maybe you try out Kundi, maybe. Or if you wanna go for the full variation, we'll explain that as well. So if you guys keep looking up at the camera, we'll go through this super slow and steady, and you can play with it as long as what you want to. Okay, so for those of you who want to join in on this arm balance, start to come up onto your toes. Stay in this kneeling type position though, and turn your legs to about a 45-degree angle to your right or left. We'll do both sides. And then whatever knee you have in front, make sure it's as high to your armpit as possible. It needs to be above the elbow. Use the core to hug the knees in, to hug the knees in. Hands shoulder width, if not a little bit further apart, spread the fingers. Keep the chest broad, knees hugging in. Start to take a bend through the elbows. Collarbones stay really broad. Maybe one toe lifts up, maybe 2 toes lift up. This is side crow. That knee to elbow tricep connection, really strong. If you want to work into Vinyasa, your bottom legs are going to follow your hips. Your top leg will follow your spine, right? Bottom leg out to the side, top leg to the back. See if you can stay buoyant through the chest. When you're ready, try and come back through side crow. We'll swap over sides. So Tyler's turned his knees to the right. So his left outer knee is to his right upper tricep or armpit. From there, hands gripping down. Really grip your fingers into the mat and start to shift forward in space. Make sure your gaze is forward, elbows hugging to the midline. Maybe you stay inside crow or you open up into Vinyasa. Yogi's choice. Really nice. Try and work back through your side crow. Good. Now there's one more little variation I want to show you guys. And this is for the yogis that are still working into side crow. What you guys may have noticed is that Tyler had one hip lifted, right? So here he's turned his knees to the left now. His outer right knee is to his upper tricep. If you want to cheat, and like I say all the time, I totally recommend it, you can bring your right outer hip to your left tricep. My words are going to work at some point in this class, I do promise, right? So you've made a little shelf with your triceps that you can just perch upon. So slow and steady, it's the same thing, but now your outer hip and your outer knee are resting on your triceps. Good. You can still open up from this shape. It's a little tougher, but you can still do it. So maybe this is what you play around with. Really nice, guys. Whatever variation you created, and even if that variation was sitting on the floor staring at the camera, it was perfect, right? Just make sure you do both sides. That's really important that we work into the body evenly. And we're not favoring one side. My right side is way better than my left, which is pretty typical, but that means I definitely need to do both. Once you've finished, roll out the wrists. You just want to make sure that any pressure, anything that's come up in the wrists, we roll out. We allow that sensation to move away. And then once you feel as if you're ready, slowly lay down on your belly. You can rest your arms. I think Tyler's pretty happy to be here. You can rest your arms down by your side, a cheek or a chin to the earth. As you breathe in, feel this back body rise. And as you breathe out, notice it fall. We'll just take 2 more breaths here to reset in this stillness, reconnect with the breath. Good. All right, I'm gonna get you guys to roll onto your right side. Bring your arm out in line with your shoulder. Palm facing the earth. We're coming into a side variation of Shalabhasana. As you guys breathe in, start to peel the left shoulder up to the sky. Start to bring the legs up to create this dish-like shape. Hug the legs in towards one another. Keep using the obliques, the side belly, to keep the upper body lifted. Keep the breath fluid for another 3. Stay high, 2. 1. Use a whole breath out to lower. Good. I mean, you can be eager like Tyler to roll back onto your belly, but we are going to do that same side again. So I would definitely suggest stay on your right side. All right, when you guys are ready, or I should say when Tyler's ready, lift back up as you breathe in. We're trying to lift this left shoulder as high to the sky as what we can. Keep the neck in the line of your spine. Keep your legs lifted as well. Feel this whole side chain working to keep you in this shape. Not avoiding it, but rather enjoying the fact you're building strength. Just 1 more big breath in. Use a breath out to soften the body down. And then you can roll onto your belly. Good. And just feel the breath. Notice the difference from when you were laying on your belly just a few moments ago to now. I'm not going to leave you guys here too long because I have a feeling even Tyler will fall asleep. Start to roll onto the left side. Arm in line with the shoulder, palm facing the earth. Use a breath in. Act like there's 2 strings pulling the outer right leg and the shoulder up to the sky. Guys, you're here to create strength and mobility. Really commit to this. Those obliques, Tyler's tapping his because he's pretty impressed with himself. Keep lifted. Another 3, 2, 1. Good. Really nice. Feel the breath. Guys, it's so nice sometimes for the practice not to be so serious. And just like this practice looks different right now, it will every day. So just honor where you're at. But that doesn't get us out of doing this again on this side. When you're ready, breathe in to lift up. Stay really buoyant through the upper half and the lower half. As best as you can, maintain the height. And then see if you can push past that just a little bit more. Really nice. Let's take 1 more big breath in and lift. Lower down really slow as you breathe out. Roll onto your belly. Take a moment to reset. Use the breath to draw you into the present moment. Just 1 more big breath in. And maybe you sigh the breath out. Frame your ribs with your hands. Take an upward facing dog as you breathe in, or a cobra if that suits you better. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And just land for a moment. Feel the difference in this shape once again. There are no two downward facing dogs that will ever be the same. What we do before our class, what we do in our class will determine how this shape feels. And just one more round of breath here, enjoy it. Bring your right leg up to the sky as you inhale. Right knee towards right wrist, right ankle towards left, half pigeon pose. Your shin does not need to be parallel to the front edge of your mat. It does not need to be parallel. If you have any pain at all, roll over onto your back and come into the figure 4 variation of this with your toes flexed. If you're happy where you are, stay. If you have a block or a pillow handy, slide it in and underneath the right hip. But before you guys lay down into this, lift up onto your back toes and then scooch this leg back in space. Good, that's going to bring your hips a little lower if you've got the space. Find buoyancy through the body. It's like a hugging of your legs towards one another to find that height. Keep that. Stay. Or now you can lower down into this shape. When we come into these long holds and this stillness, it's really, really common because that sensation is there without movement. The mind wants to deviate, wants to go somewhere else, to focus on something else. But this is where the practice really begins. This practice in stillness. Can you sit with this sensation without the need to change it? Can you offer the body to this shape, to this moment? We're going to stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. Really observe where the mind is, and then maybe why it's there. Use the hands pushing into the earth to lift the torso up. Ground them down, lift up onto your back toes. Keep your knee hugging towards your chest. Downward facing dog. Pedal one leg out and then the other. Is there a difference? Can you feel it? This is where that mind-body connection comes, in this mindfulness. Once you're ready, let the left leg lift. Left knee towards left wrist. Left ankle towards right. Now we can aim to set up this posture the same, but we need to honor the body and know it's going to be different. So as best as you can, find your variation on this side. We're trying to stay buoyant first. Use the back toes to draw the hips down in space a little more. Keep lifted by hugging the legs towards one another. Maybe you feel more sensation here. I personally do. I always stay lifted in this if I have the option. But if you feel as if you lowering down is right for you, now is the time to do so. Offer your heart space to the earth if that's the variation you've taken. And surrender fully into this posture. As best as you can, if the sensation is growing and it feels a little bit too much, the breath is always there to support you. When we say that, all we mean is that it's that familiar sensation and it's comforting. So utilize Ujjayi, that breath control. Take 2 more rounds of breath on this side. Utilize the hands pushing into the earth to lift the torso. Roll to the outer edge of your left hip. Send both legs out in front and wide. You come into a side body stretch now. Allow your right hand to fall along the inside of your right leg. Keep your toes pointed up to the sky. Lift that left arm up and over. This left hip grounding down to the earth. Keep that sitting bone grounded. And while this left hand reaches past the right foot, now down and towards it. As best as you can, keep peeling your chest open towards the sky or the ceiling. Breathe here. Maintain that connection, that fluid breath. See if you can find your depth. One more big breath in. And out. Good. Slowly come back up and swap over sides. That left arm falls on the inside of the left leg, reaching the right up and past the foot. See if you can take this left shoulder forward, right back to open the chest up. We're not trying to close over here, because then we're not going to get into the side body, the intercostal muscles, and all of that good stuff. Stay open rather than reaching for the foot. You'll gain more out of this posture. 2 more breaths. Feel the expansion as you breathe in. See if you can use the space as you breathe out. Once you're ready, slowly come up. Bring your left heel towards your hips. Keep your right leg out long. Square your chest off to your right leg. We're coming into Janu Shirshasana. As you breathe in, reach up. As you breathe out, hinge at the hips, chest towards toes. As best as you can, keep the inner sole of your foot pushing forward. Don't allow it to peel in. Energetically keep drawing the chest towards the toes, not the forehead towards the shin. We've worked a lot into this area throughout class. So this is a really beautiful opportunity to find space. Just 1 more round of breath. Slowly peel up. Plant that left hand back and behind you. Windmill the right forward and then back in space. Wild thing. Hip points pushing forward. And feel this beautiful anterior line open up. Keep pushing into the earth with that left hand. 1 more big breath in to expand. And ground the sitting bones as you breathe out. Let's swap over sides. Right heel in towards the body. Left leg long. Make sure you square the chest off to the right leg first. And then slowly begin to fold over into this shape. Once again, guys, we're looking to keep length through the spine in comparison to just hunching over. I'd much prefer to see you guys really high in this shape with a straight spine than completely rounded. It's It's really common. We want to force ourselves into finding length. There should be an energetic pull towards it, but the more we force the body, the more it will resist. The only activity is inner sole of your foot forward, chest towards toes. Allow the rest to settle into the posture rather than seize up. Take that last breath out. Slow and steady, rise up, plant down that right hand, send the hips forward, left arm back. Keep sending your hip points forward in space, really important. And then reach this hand back more. Protect that right shoulder by pushing into the earth with the right hand. Just one more big breath in. Slow and steady, reground as you breathe out. Send both legs together, lay down on your mat. Hug your knees into your chest. And give yourself this loving, comforting hug, maybe a rock from side to side. Really nice, guys. Bring both of your feet down to the earth. And then cross your right ankle over your left knee. Keep this figure four-like shape. Drop the sole of your right foot and your outer edge of your left knee off to the left side, coming into a really gentle twist. If you want, you can bring your left hand to your right foot and draw it up towards the hip crease a little bit more, closer to the body. Shoulder blades will remain grounded. Whatever sensation is here for you, welcome it. Never here to feel any pain. So know there are other options. Ask us. We're always here. But as best as you can, surrender into this shape. Keep the chest open. And the breath slow. I'm going to take just 2 more breaths on this side. Slowly roll yourself to center. Swap over legs. Right sole of your foot grounds, left ankle crosses over the right knee. Allow the outer edge of the right leg, left sole of your foot to drop to the right side. Right hand maybe to left foot, drawing it in towards the hip crease in the body. I'm not concerned with what this shape looks like. Just feel into it. Notice where the sensation lies, pinpoint it. And then see if that can draw you in a little further and encourage this curiosity for it. Just 2 more breaths. A happy baby, knees to your armpits, catch the outer edges of your feet. Maybe you rock from side to side. We're not here for long. Keep the hips and lower back rounded. Just 1 more big breath in. Release the legs into Supta Baddha Konasana as you breathe out. soles of your feet together, knees offered to gravity's tug down towards the earth. Maybe your hands are on your belly, maybe they're up and overhead, yogi's choice. Now that the practice really slows down, guide the mind in that same direction. Keep offering the outer knees to the earth. Surrender just a little more. Just one more big breath in. Maybe a sigh out. You are welcome to land in Shavasana whenever suits you. But once you land, I encourage you to wholeheartedly land in stillness. Relax your jaw. Allow your tongue to drop from the roof of your mouth. When the mind wanders, you refocus on that subtle rise and fall of your belly. Wherever your attention may have wandered, I invite you to bring it back. Introducing some small movements into the fingers and the toes. And then slowly roll to your favorite side. Begin your journey back up to your seat. Once you land, hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra. Bow your head to your hands. Together we acknowledge the practice, we acknowledge each other, and we acknowledge ourselves. Namaste.
Namaste.
Once again, guys, it means the world to us to see the views going up on these videos and to know that you guys are still here and practicing. Please, any questions, we're always here, and any feedback, we would love to hear it. We really hope you're all well.
Thanks guys, see you next time.